Alright, welcome back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to place some objects in the level, and we might even create, say, a level blueprint to do something maybe similar to what we're doing here. So we might create a light out here, and an interactive light that we might use, in somewhere in level. And we're going to, I think, initially perhaps use the level blueprint the same way we did previously, and then we're going to see how we can actually turn that into what we call an actor blueprint. So first thing I'm going to do is control space, sorry, and I am going to go and grab, this time, what do we want? I think we just want some props. So what do we got? So we're just going to create a light. So maybe we're going to add a few different things in there this time. So maybe just this wall lamp right here. Why are you not? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, I've placed it in the level. Unreal makes, I guess, a good guess where you want to put it. It made a bad guess that time. So let's just pop this up here. So this is like a, I guess what you call a, actually, what is it called? It's kind of a sconce. They call it a wall lamp. Okay. And if we just have a look at it, we can see that, yeah, it's just an object. Okay, and this is a basically just a static mesh, so we can actually have a look at the different parts of it. We were just there, so we can just click on browse to. And then if you want to see what this looks like, we can double click on that and it'll just open up the editor here to show us the static mesh. And of course there's also, we can have a look at the material as well. And that's the material we're using. We're not covering materials in this particular set of videos, but there is another set of videos that goes into materials. You can check that one out. And again, I mean, a lot of you are going to be doing modeling. So this is the sort of editor you'll be looking at when you import your models into Unreal. So just giving you a heads up of what we're using. All right, so we need to turn this around. I want this on the wall. So if I hit the E key, I middle clicked in the window then so that it's actually taking to make the window here active. If I click up here, oh no, it actually works. What if I click out there? Oh, it's still working. Okay, call me a liar. One more try. Let's double click on this again. Okay. Now if I almost automatically click on that. So if I now click on WER, this window's not selected, so it doesn't actually change the gizmo. If I middle click, you'll have to trust me that I'm middle clicking here. The reason to use middle click is that instead of using, say, my left click, I then go and select something. If I use right click, it gives me this. If I use middle click, it just makes it active without doing that. So I actually want this one active. And we can now hit WER, and I get my move, rotate, and scale tools. We want to rotate. A couple of ways we can do it, of course. We can just rotate around this axis. Where is that axis? It's in the middle. That's cool. So we can do that one. You'll notice if you look over here, we got our rotation. So when we do that, you'll see the rotation happening. We could come into here and just go, we want that 180. So let's just go 180. Bang. And that's exactly where we want it to go. W key for move. And I just want this against the wall. So just so you know, we've got these lamps on the wall. And we want that against the wall. And how close are we going to get? So I can do, this is the cheap way, or I can go to my top view. That's pretty good, actually. I think that's right against the wall, which is what we want. Okay, nice. So let's go back to our perspective view. Now, there is no light in here, despite the fact that we can see a light there. That is a mesh, that's a static mesh. There is no light in here. If we come in and we actually turn down these lights, so this is our directional light. This is a bit like the sun. Where is where's the so indirect lighting intensity? We don't want to use temperature, like color. Have they moved everything here? Isn't it just an overall intensity? Light color? Advanced? No. Okay. We should just be able to turn this down. Well, that's indirect lighting. No, that's no good. Where is my basic light? We've got temperature, effects world, cast shadows, intensity. Ah, there it is. I'm sure you guys are screaming at me through the screen there. Let's just turn that down. Let's turn it down to maybe 1. Cool. And you remember last time we added this volume, so it doesn't change the lighting or the lighting effect when we change where we go. So that might be enough. We do have a couple of other lights here. Let's have a look at the intensity here. Intensity scale. We can turn that down maybe a little bit as well. This will generally be your shadows. Let's make that 0.1. This one, sky atmosphere. This can create some lighting as well. So be aware if you're trying to get a completely black level, these things can be problematic. In both of these. What have we got here? Atmosphere. Has this got any lighting or anything in there? It's worth checking if you're trying to get complete darkness in there. So things like atmospheric scattering can potentially create light. It's probably not too much of a problem here. Sky luminance factor. These are all new. I haven't played around with these very much. Height fog contribution. Okay. I think we're okay. So what I want to do is I'm just going to grab a basic light, a point light like we had before. Throw that down as close as I can get. Bit of a trick I've shown you previously. We'll show you again. If you want to get something in the exact place of this, we can come into here, right click our location, copy, select this one, paste, and it pasted there. And then I'm just going to pull it up because it's a bit below, the pivot point's a bit below there. And you might want to play around with that because we're kind of halfway in the wall. So if I go this way, that might be pretty good, to be honest. If I want to line that up a little bit more, I can come into here, I can turn that down to 1, and that'll move it 1 unit instead. So, you know, that's pretty good. I think I'm fairly happy with that. Although, yeah, no, that's okay. We're going to change the color as well. And I'm going to change this back to 10. What color do we want? Something that we can see clearly so we know we're actually turning it on. Blue. Looks good. We're going to do something similar to what we did last time, but it's going to be a little bit more complex as well. So I want another... What would we want? We want another trigger volume. And drag that in. And where did my trigger volume go? Trigger volume 2. Okay, interesting. This happens in Unreal sometimes. I just dragged it in, just popped it in there, and well, it's gone somewhere. So what should we do? Well, if this happens, if you hit the F for focus key, there we go. It popped it over here for some bizarre reason. Let's go and move it. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and move it towards my light here. And I just want it to be pretty close to the wall. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm going to make it fairly close to the center. Hit the R key. And I'm going to just make it a bit smaller. Like maybe that. We can play around with the size later. It's not too much of a problem. And we're going to do something similar to what we did last time. So we're going to make it just for the first iteration. We want the player to walk into here and then turn the light on. When they walk out, turns it off. That's not all we're going to do. We've done this before, but we're actually going to do something a little bit different. Hit the save button up there. So we come into here. Again, come down to here, right click, and I can create a reference, or I can just come to here, add event for trigger volume 1. So what I'm saying here is when a particular event occurs, I want to be able to run some code. So the event that we're after is add on actor begin overlap. We've already used this one last time. Same thing again, so that's great. And then we're going to grab the light, and we're going to just we can do a similar thing. We could use visible if we wanted to. Set actor. What did we use last time? Set visibility. Oh, that's because I typed that in, isn't it? Set visibility. Be careful if you go and type too much. So we can set the visibility. It's going to give us the light component there automatically, just fine. We could do something else if we wanted to. Just can you think of what else we could possibly do? If we maybe go into here, we've got the light selected. If you see some of the things that we've got, so we have indirect lighting intensity, volumetric scattering, and then we've got overall intensity here. So we could change that. We could actually change the value if we want. We could set, if I set that to 0 now, okay, we've lost it. So we could potentially, maybe this time we'll do it a little bit differently. We'll use the intensity instead of the visibility, since we've done that already. So let's try that one. Intensity, set intensity. Again, so we've got light component. It's going to give us a light component. So I'm going to use this one. Whoops. Let's delete these. So now we've got our set intensity. So when we cross over, we want to set that intensity to 8. And of course, the other thing as well, what we want to do on begin play, we want to set our intensity to 0. So let's grab this, Control C, and then, oh, of course I can't do that. So used to hitting the right hand mouse button. Control V. Like so. So now on begin play, we're going to set our intensity to 0. And on begin overlap, we're going to set our intensity to 8. Let's compile that. Hit play. All right, let's hope it works. Bang, there we go. We've set our intensity to 8. And then we come out, and obviously we haven't set it up for our exit. Easy enough to do. Just come back here. Grab this one again. So we can select it in here, or we can come and select it in here as well, obviously. Let's come into here. This time we want end overlap, collision, actor end overlap. So these are internal engine events, which is going to be important. We're going to be talking more about events later. And this time, if I hit Control D, duplicates that for me. So you've got the option. You can either use Control D or Control C and Control V. And we're just going to set that to 0, like so. So I know this is, we've kind of done this before, but we're going to take it a step further this time as well. Okay, there we go. So we've redone that. All fine and good, but big whoop, we've done that previously. Well, what we want to do now, just say, look, okay, I've created these lights. You know what? I've been playing around. I've been doing some things in Unreal, and I just realised I want to be able to use this across multiple parts. Use this multiple time in the actual level. So what we can do is now I hope it's going to allow me to do this. So we can select all these. Bang, bang, bang. Put those selected, and we can. There used to be a button here, and they've moved it. Let's right click and see if we've got it. No. We can turn it into a blueprint. Now, why am I not seeing it? Where's it gone? What have we got here? Can we do this? Convert selection to blueprint class. There we go. Okay, there used to be a little button down here. We also have this option here. So we've got convert selection to blueprint class. If I click on that, these selected actors cannot be used to create a blueprint. Oh, damn. Do you want to continue conversion without them? So it's not oh, okay. All right. So my bad. It's not going to let me use the trigger volume. That's a new thing in Unreal 5. We've learned something there. So, okay, what we can do instead, we could do that. We can convert the other two to a blueprint. Look, let's go and do that. Let's say we've done that. Okay, we want to cut down the amount of work we've got. Let's just say yes. All right. Create blueprint from selection. So child actors, replace the selected actors with an instance of the new blueprint class inherited from there. Yeah, I think we want to do that. Yeah. Blueprint name and the path. So I do not want to put it here. Be careful, because it gives you a weird place to put it. So it's saying props materials. Why the hell would I want to put it there? No, I don't want to put it there. I want to put my blueprints in under my content and blueprints right there. So I'm going to select that. And I'm going to call this naming conventions here, BP, uppercase, underscore, interactive light. And I'm going to go select. Okay, and here we go. This is our new blueprint. And that's also in here now. So you can see this used to be a point light and a static mesh. Now it is a blueprint. We've converted this into a blueprint right here. And we can see this blueprint in the blueprint editor that it's opened up for us. So I'm just going to hit save. And we can see here as well, so we've got our viewport. We haven't really talked about the these editors yet. So what I might do, again, just pause here and we'll come back and actually have a look at this actor blueprint or this blueprint editor.